Hello everybody. Lindsay Hack here, welcoming you to one of our very first bonus training sessions from our Shred Your COVID-19 Weight Loss Challenge. We are super excited to get this party started. Just first and foremost, quickly let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, give me a thumbs up, give me a hey yes. Maybe let me know where you're watching from. Are you watching from work? Are you watching from Texas? You know, what have you, just so I know that I am being heard. I'm going to quickly check as well in Facebook because I know sometimes our stuff, there I am. All right. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. If you've never been part of one of our lives before, I'm here. I'm going to talk to you guys for about 20 minutes, give or take, depending on how many questions there are. I'm also going to answer questions live if you have any. Definitely write them down in the notes here. Hi, yes, hello. One thing I cannot see is who's saying hi. Hi, Bobby. Hi, Denise. Hi, Denise. Okay, I'm going to do it. Hi, Debbie. I'm going to keep it on my phone so I can take a look. I got some people on. We're going to be ready to go. So here's the most important thing. Grab a pen and paper, grab a glass of water or a cup of tea or what have you, because we're going to talk about why mindset matters. I often hear people say, well, what do I care about mindset when I'm here for a weight loss journey, or I'm here for a health journey, or whatever it is? Why does mindset matter to this at all? So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. Now, for those of you guys who don't know me very well, hello. My name is Lindsay Hack. I'm one of the co-owners of Sassy Evolution, along with Christina. We are here to support, be a part of this fabulous journey you may be on, whatever that journey looks like for you. Many of you are post-bariatric surgery, not everybody, but many of you are. So we will talk a lot of specifics for bariatric surgery, but we also will be explaining what that looks like in terms of regular people who are on a weight loss journey or on their own transformation journey themselves. So hello, everybody. Hello. Good stuff. All right, we got some people on. So again, as I said, keep commenting in the comment box. If you have a question, just give me a hashtag question, because sometimes they go so quickly that I miss some of them. I will get back to them as quickly as I can. As I said, if you've never watched a live by me before, get ready. I talk fast, and it's not because of any other reason than I'm extremely passionate. I get very animated. I get very excited. So just hold on to your socks, because we are ready to go on this crazy ride that we call our COVID-19 weight loss challenge. So again, my name is Lindsay Hack. I'm one of the co-owners of Sassy Evolution. I have been in the health and wellness industry for almost 20 years now, which is insane when I think about it. When I first got it started, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to help people. And I went back to school for nutritional sciences. So I got my Bachelor of Science. Had to go to night school, high school. Oh, it was very embarrassing and very hard. Started working in a gym environment as a personal trainer. I became a fitness manager, worked with trainers how to build, worked with clients as well. Moved around a lot, moved to Australia when my children were 1 and 3. My husband Ben and I had to recertify pretty much everything, which is when I got introduced to life coaching, which again, I had my nutrition background, of course, with my Bachelor of Science. I had my personal training background, but I always knew there was something missing. And I just couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out why. Somebody would come see me 3-4 times a week. We'd work on their nutrition plan. They would do well for a little while, and then all of a sudden they would spiral back into some of their old habits, and they would really be struggling, back into what there was going on. And honestly, of course, I could only be with them so much. If it's 3 times a week, that's still plenty of days and hours in a week to have time on their own to make some decisions and figure out what's going on. And when I got introduced to life coaching, it was almost like having a light bulb pop and just be like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so for me, that really shifted the way that I feel, the way that I do things, as well as how I work with my clients, whether because I truly believe that mindset is such an important factor. And because our 4 pillars of success are mindset, fitness, nutrition, and support, this is something that I'm very, very passionate about. So as I said, just get ready because I talk a lot. I talk very fast. All right, so here's the thing. I got lots of notes for you guys. I want to make sure that we got information going on here to help you. So why does mindset matter, and what the heck does it have to do with our weight loss challenge, okay? So first thing I want you to really think about this. Whether you had surgery or whether you were just embarking on a new weight loss journey, right? We often feel really good, really excited. We get ready, we do things. It may last for a few weeks, maybe even a few months, but ultimately tendency is to go back to our old habits, our old patterns, and we hear it all the time, especially in the bariatric world, where after the surgery has been done, maybe you're out 6 months, 12 months, maybe you're now beyond the honeymoon stage, and we tend to fall back into those behaviors and patterns. Well, the truth is, no matter how you get there, and I want to say there because if you're surgery, non-surgery, making changes, not making changes, it's not a one-time event, right? This is happened over years and years and years. This has happened over, whether you're from a child all the way to today, whether it was after childbirth, whether it was after something that happened in your world that really rocked you. Gaining weight and holding on to weight for multiple years is something that's happened over time, right? We've had these things happen over and over and over again. It was many decisions over a long period of time, right? So most people who think that bariatric surgery fixes all the issues, the truth of the matter, it doesn't even come close, right? It doesn't fix everything, because if it did, everybody would be successful. And we already know there's a very scary statistic out there that basically says less than 30% of bariatric surgery patients will be successful in long-term weight loss. So why is that? Because it doesn't help with the emotional eating. It doesn't help with the food cravings. It doesn't help with the low self-esteem or the low body confidence, right? Most people tend to focus on the food. And don't get me wrong, the food, of course, is so, so, so important. But the truth of the matter is, it is not all about the food. It's also not all about the exercise. It's not all about the support. Right? It comes down to so many more things. It's the feelings that are hidden beneath the surface, right? It's the emotions that don't want to be felt, so you eat something instead. It's the self-sabotage that we all are very guilty of doing, and it's the people-pleasing actions. It's all of those things. So the mindset takes control of all of those pieces, right? How you work up here controls so much of what you do in your everyday world. So your mindset needs to shift in order to have success, right? And this is a really big one that I say often, is that you cannot stay the same but expect different results. So you cannot stay the same here, what you're eating, what you're doing, in order to see the results that you're looking for. So it's kind of like waiting for your air flight, like your flight, at a train station. They just are never going to actually meet. It's just not going to happen. So there comes a time when you know what to do, right? Because if you're lucky, you got a binder after your surgery and said, here's the plan, here's following the plan. And how you're doing it, which is, going through the plan, is not working for you. Because knowing what to do and doing what you know are two very different things. Let me repeat that. Knowing what to do and doing what you know are two very different things. And oftentimes we hear, we know what to do, but we can't figure out how to get here because we can't get ourselves to do it. There's a lot of space in there that all comes down to the mindset piece. Okay, so why does it matter? It matters because getting the results is what you're here for, right? We are here because we want this amazing challenge to get us released or stress released or whatever it is that you got here for. Maybe you're here because you can't wait to know what the secret sauce is, right, that we're going to talk about in one of the days. Like, you're here because something isn't working, right? We had 195 people join this challenge over the last week. 195 people who truly don't know what they're doing wrong. And I'm going to really take that back because it goes deeper, right, than the meal plans and the recipes and the exercise and support. And oftentimes we hear people say, well, I just want a meal plan. Well, we can give you a meal plan, but we know that executing the meal plan is a completely different story than actually just having a meal plan in your hand. So the big thing I want you to think about moving forward with this challenge, with long term, is I want you to truly be honest with yourself. Okay, I want you to really be honest with yourself, but I also want you to open up your mind for a second. Okay, if you're watching this and you're thinking, well, no, none of that applies to me. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm doing really good. But yet you joined a challenge to lose the weight, whether you gained it during COVID or not. You've joined the challenge because something isn't working, right? If you think about all these pieces of the puzzle, they need to fit together in this beautiful, symphony of amazingness to get the results, but something is not working. And so mindset could be a part of that. I put my hand up and say I would reckon that almost all of that has to do with mindset. And then, yes, the other stuff will come. And we will, of course, go into a lot more detail over those next 5 days. But where are you making your excuses? And I use excuses and people often are like, oh, I don't have excuses. That's okay. Well, my family is this, or this happened here, or I'm moving on. And they get very, very defensive. Well, first of all, ask yourself why you get defensive. An excuse is an excuse. If I'm not feeling well and I don't get my exercise in, that's an excuse. It doesn't have to be negative. It just is an excuse. So first of all, if you find yourself getting very like, ooh, when I say what's your excuses and stop using them, first of all, think to yourself, why are you thinking that way? Because it doesn't have to be negative. We just put negative on there, right? I have been in this industry, as I said, for almost 20 years. I have a list of over 140 excuses that I have used and my clients have used and people that I've coached and worked with have used over these years. Because some of them are very valid, right? I have an injury. I can't run. That's valid. I'm sick. My kids had to do this. I had to do this. I had to, right? All of those things are going to come up for sure. But here's the thing. If you're honest with yourself and you look at where you're making those excuses, then you're going to be able to really look at it. And I'm going to tell you my own story because this is something that I want you to understand. So even though I've been in this industry, I am not perfect, not even close, not even semi-close. Meals and meal prepping and all of that is not my forte. You talk to Christina, she loves that stuff. It's amazing. For me, I struggle every day, all day long, right? So for me, I always made the excuse that I didn't like to meal prep. And I always made the excuse that every time I meal prepped, I changed my ideas of what I wanted, and I ended up wasting food. Well, I don't want to waste food because I don't want to spend money on food that I'm wasting, so I'm not going to meal prep. That's a pretty strong story I've been telling myself for the last X number of years. But the truth of the matter is, those are the excuses I tell myself to allow myself to get out of some of the things I know I need to do. Again, in the industry for 20 years, I know that planning is the key to success. I don't care what plan it is. I don't care if it's a workout plan, a walking plan, a learn to run plan, a meal prep plan, what you're going to eat today plan. Planning is the success of everything that we're doing. So if I'm making excuses on that plan, I need to explore a little bit more and find out why. And I have done just that. In the last 3 weeks, I've actually done some meal prep, guys. I'm giving myself big thumbs up for that. But this is the thing. It is constantly something that I fight with because the stories in my head have been so strong for so long, right? Just like a bicep, you have to strengthen those muscles. Just like a heart, you have to strengthen those muscles, right? Making excuses and looking towards mindset and really focusing on that, we have to practice and strengthen that muscle. It's not a one-time thing. You're not going to get what we're telling you in this next 5 days and be like, got it, check. If you are, you're like the 0.00.1% of the population. For the rest of us, it takes time, and we build, and we practice, and we fall short, and we practice some more, and we make an excuse, and then we practice again, and that is how we process it. But it all comes down to him. I am done making excuses for meal prepping. I'm done, and that is where the mindset shift for me has happened. Now, when it comes to you, maybe meal prepping is not your problem. Maybe you're a superstar with meal prepping and you do great at grocery store pickups and you do all those things. But maybe your stories that you tell yourself is about exercise. Okay, I don't like it. Well, really, every single exercise you've ever tried in your whole entire life, right? There's tons of them. I have a document, actually, 99 ways to move that you might love. So have you really tried them? Probably not. Are you injured? Are you limited? Do you have certain things you have to be careful on? all of those things. Again, stories that we tell ourselves, but it's truth, right? There's truth to that. If you have a bum knee, you're not going to be going out doing burpees and running, nor are you expected to. But you can't use your bum knee as an excuse to not do anything, right? There are ways to work around that, but the stories that we tell ourselves allow us to get out of a lot of the things we don't necessarily want to do. Now, here's the thing. The old ways of doing things got you here, right? You need new ways of doing things to get you there. And I say there because everybody's there is different. Everybody's there changes regularly. A lot of our members in our Your Bariatric Transformation group have changed their goals, changed where they are, went from after surgery to after plastics to, now I just want to run a marathon. Like, things are constantly changing. But what you got here will not get you there. I'm going to repeat that. What got you here is not going to get you there, right? No matter what there is. So I want you to really think about what there looks like. We talk a lot about finding your why you had surgery, why you embarked on a health journey. Was it because you are afraid of dying young because everybody in your family who was overweight died young? Maybe it was because you have a child who is so active that you don't want to just sit on the sofa and say, no, I'm sorry, I'm too tired to work with you today. Maybe it's because you're in a place where you're too young to feel like you are sore all the time and you have no energy, right? This is all of your whys. I don't know. I can't tell you. That's the one thing that comes from these things. It's not something that I can tell you and say, this is what it is, this is what it should be, this is why you need to do it. But this is where you have to really sit down. And then I love this quote by Tony Robbins: stay committed to your decisions, but stay flexible in your approach. Because here's what tends to happen. We have all these grand plans, we do all this amazing stuff, and then something throws a curveball at us. And guess what? That something is called life. Life will always throw a curveball, whether it's a big one and you strike out completely and you're down and out, right? Or whether it's a small one that you just have to figure out how to dodge. There will always be something. There will always be stress. There will always be crazy. There will always be things going on in your world. Some of you have it way worse than others, absolutely. Some of you have things going on that I couldn't even fathom to understand. But here's the thing. There are other people who feel the same way as you do and that are being successful. So what we have to figure out is how you, I'm talking to you, can do this for you. And it's not a one-size-fits-all scenario. And, we see people go to their bariatric kind of pre-meetings, or we see people go to Weight Watchers, or we see people go to, excuse me, a Jenny Craig or Slimming World in the UK, and they're all like, okay, let's get together and do all this. But the truth of the matter is, it is not one size fits all, right? And so stay committed to your decision, the decision to whatever your why is: get healthy, get stronger, get faster, get fitter, lose weight, remove diabetes, get off your medication, feel amazing in my body, have self-esteem, whatever it is. And then stay flexible in your approach, because stuff is always going to change. Stuff is always going to change. You can have the perfect meal plan put together, and then your daughter gets hit in the head with a baseball at baseball practice, and you spend the afternoon in the ER. Okay? I hope that doesn't happen, but it could, right? My daughter has broken her arm. We've had, emergencies at school. We've had emergencies with clients. We have, had power go out. We've had the fridge go down. We've had the washing machine break. I mean, God, you guys, you know, these things happen all the time. But while we are staying flexible in our approach, it means we are prepared for something to happen. And that's not the same as being anxious and anxiety focused, that you're like, what if? We're going to talk about that on another day, I promise you. But this is having that plan, but having the flexibility in the plan so it doesn't get derailed the moment something changes. Right? We hear a lot of the times where I've been doing really well, I've been coming to classes, I've been doing this, I've been doing that, I've been going to the gym, everything was great. And then last week when I was going to the gym, my car broke down, and now my car is in the shop, and now I can't get to the gym, and so now my whole workout's been ruined. Right? There is options when it comes to that type of stuff. We just have to make sure we have them so we don't allow these things to derail us and to take us out. So this is the thing I want you to keep in mind, okay? Mindset is not just woo-woo-y, going and doing, your affirmations and meditating. Meanwhile, I absolutely love all of those things, and I highly recommend doing those things for sure. But if you're not quite there yet, you're like thinking, Lindsay's this crazy lady who's talking all about meditation and affirmations. I'm not. I do believe 100% that visualizing where you want to be is a huge, huge part of getting and being successful. But understanding the emotion behind why we do things, understanding how we are taking our feelings and stuffing them down, which therefore means we're throwing food on top of them, how our people-pleasing ways on a regular basis sabotage us on a regular basis, right? How the food is part of the problem, but the real problem is way deeper than that. And sometimes we don't want to go that deep and find out and figure it out, and that's okay. I'm not saying that's where you have to always necessarily go, but if you have been on the struggle bus and you have tried and failed, right? Failed, learned what didn't work for you, and you tried again and you were really good, and then something happened, and then this and then that, and all of these things have happened, then you really need to look at what the common denominator is, right? Everybody says to me, well, Weight Watchers didn't work, keto didn't work, paleo didn't work, I went to the gym and that didn't work, I went to Jenny Craig and those foods didn't work. Well, of those things, there are success stories out of all of that. 100% there are. I've seen success stories out of every isogenics, body on demand, whatever those other ones are. I've seen them. I've seen some amazing success stories. But the reason that it might not work for you are twofold. Everybody's different, and your mindset might have been in a different place, right? It might not have worked for you because your mindset wasn't there. And that's okay. Like, don't beat yourself up for it. But also, if you've never thought about it that way, it just shows you how much there is to learn, how much there is to grow, right? When I was introduced to life coaching back in 2012, I had a moment of, oh my, this is the most craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Now, back to 2001, my husband and I went traveling to India. We went to this fantastically, absolutely gorgeous monastery where the monks were there, with their shaved head and their beautiful gowns. And there was two of them there who never spoke a word. And finding out through the translator, we found out that he had vowed in his meditation to not speak for 20 years, okay? And a moment of, oh my gosh, well, I will never meditate because I need to speak. I like to speak. I would never do that. That took me through 2001 to 2012. So 11 years of the stories I told myself about meditation. And that dictated everything. So someone would say, oh, I'm going to meditate. My mom would be like, oh, you should meditate. I'd be like, yeah, crazy lady, I'm not doing that. Right? That took me through all the way until I was introduced to life coaching, where it was said, mindset matters to so many parts of our world, right? And again, whether you were at the meditation, affirmations, that place yet, gratitude journal, that place, you don't have to be there yet. I definitely encourage you to take a look at it and have an open mind, but also keep in mind that the whole picture is controlled by what goes on in that brain. The excuses we have, the successes we have, the failures we have. We constantly say to our children, if you have children, try again, right? Get up, try again, get back on that bike. Or, kids who are learning to walk, you never once be like, oh, yeah, you might as well just stay down. Yeah, just crawl for the rest of your life. You're never going to make it. No, it's constant, right? That is how we learn. Right? We always say, in our house, it's not practice makes perfect, because I honestly believe perfection is not even something that exists, but practice makes better, right? Progress over perfection every day of the week, because the more you can progress, the more you can get better, the more you can try, the more you can work, the more you can fail, the more you can do. Right? Those are the most important pieces of the puzzle. So how do they all fit together? That is something that we're going to talk a lot about over this challenge. right? We have our mindset, we have our nutrition, of course, we have our exercise, of course, and we have our support. Those are the 4 pillars of success. We are very, very passionate about making sure that you have all 4 of those. The reason that Sassy Evolution is such a unique program is because we do focus on those. Bariatric mindset, weight loss mindset is such an important piece to that puzzle. And I want you to really think to yourself 2 things, okay? And I'm gonna post this in the group when it comes to live training in one of the units. There'll be live training, which will be this video. So yes, it will be recorded. You can rewatch it back. And then there's going to be some homework, and your homework is twofold. I want you to really think about your why. I want you to get deep into that why on why you had your surgery in the first place. Now, some of you guys are 6, 7, 8 years plus after your surgery. Some of you have not had surgery. Some of you are about a year out of surgery. Some of you are 3, 4 years out of surgery. Those whys of all of that have probably changed over your time, right? If you tried every single diet known to man and you come to this one thinking, this is my chance, deep down, why? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to be successful? What does it mean to me? And then when you do it, you'll see in the workshop, I'm challenging you to ask yourself why. So I hear all the time, why do you want to lose weight? Well, I want to be healthy. Well, why? Well, I want to be healthy. Well, why do you want to be healthy? There's got to be a reason why you want to be healthy. Well, I want to be able to, run around with my children. Well, why is that important to you? Right? Well, because I want my children to know that I love them. Well, why? Why do you think running around with your children shows them that you love them? Right? So you can see how it's going to get a little bit deeper. And just be honest with yourself. You don't have to share this. You don't even have to tell your accountability partner about this. This is for you, unless, of course, you want to, which, of course, we love sharing. We love seeing what other people have to say. All right? And then the second one is finding your excuses and where they fit. As I told you about my meal prep, that has been my excuse for a long time. It was the stories that I told myself and how I was able to work through them. Am I perfect? No. Do I still find myself trying to talk myself out of our group meal prep every single week? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean I can succeed. And that's where the mindset shift has come in, right? I'm not perfect. I'm still working on that muscle, on that mindset shift every single day. But I'm working on it and working on it and working on it. So 2 things that I want you guys to work on. Again, this will set you up for a really good place to start on Thursday. Don't forget tomorrow as well. Christina is going to go live talking a little bit about your goal weight and why it's even important and what does that mean to you. Again, these are just our small bonus trainings to kind of help you set yourself up for success. Moving into Thursday when we kickstart this whole thing off, which we can't wait to do, by the way. It's going to be super amazing. So again, guys, if you have any questions, if you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. Let me know if you have any questions following through. If you do, we are going to put a question thread up every single day of this challenge. If you have a specific question, post it under that question thread, and we'll be checking those on a regular basis. Christina and I are committed and dedicated to you guys over these next few days in this challenge to help you work through some of these things, because we really want to see you walk out of this challenge with success moving forward. So guys, have a fantastic Tuesday. Whatever you're up to, let me know if you have any questions, and I will speak to you again real soon. Take care. Bye.